Hey everybody, welcome back. I am glad to see you again. We are going to talk a little bit about how to use a proportion to solve a word problem or an application problem. The problem you got sitting in front of you that you came here to see me about was had to do with grass seed covering square footage of a yard. So if we say 14 pounds of seed covers 1,260 square feet, then how many pounds of seed are needed for 10,080 square feet? Well guys, the first thing we want to do is we want to find the established rate that's in this problem. The rate that we're given is 14 pounds, okay, of seed will cover 1,260 square feet. 14 pounds of seed will cover 1,260 square feet. Now I want you to notice when I wrote this rate down that I wrote down the units. Really important to write down the units, because what we're going to do is set a proportion up based out of this rate that they gave us. They gave us 14 pounds covers this much. We write this down as a rate. Okay, that's our rate. Now we're going to come over and set up a proportion, and in the other side of our proportion we're going to have another rate. It's really important that we match straight across with the same units. And once we get that set up, this problem becomes very, very simple. Okay, so the question then is, in the second rate, how many pounds, okay, so that's my unknown, my x, are needed for 10,080 square feet? And so you can see now we've got a nice proportion set up here that's really pretty cool and pretty easy to work with. So the key is to get this set up right. And again, I can't emphasize enough to set it up right. What we want to do is see our initial rate, 14 pounds covers this much, and then set up an equivalent kind of rate on the other side with pounds corresponding to pounds and square feet corresponding to square feet. If you put these units in, I don't think you can really go wrong. So now we're going to use our shortcut that we've talked about before. We're simply going to go 14 times 10,080. Now this time I went to see a friend of mine and I got myself a handy dandy little quick calculator because I'm getting lazy in my old age, I guess. 14, okay, I'm going to go ahead and multiply that times 10080. And I'm getting 141,120. 141,120. Okay, so now I'm going to take that number and I'm going to simply divide it by 1260. Okay, and I haven't, you'll notice I haven't even taken it out of my calculator. Yeah, there we go. You can see I've still got the number in my calculator, so I'm not clearing it or anything. I'm just going straight in behind with divided by now 1260. Yeah, 1260. And I'm getting an answer of 112. 112. 112 what? Well, pounds. 112 pounds. And so let's kind of think to ourselves and see if that makes any sense, because sometimes it's so easy to trust a calculator, but we got to trust our brains and make sure that our answers really make sense to what we're going after here. So think about this for a second. It takes 14 pounds to cover 1,260 square feet. Now 10,000 square feet is a whole lot more than just 1,260 square feet. That's a whole lot more square footage. So it seems to me that it ought to take a whole lot more pounds to cover that much square footage. Well, it does. It takes 112, which is a whole lot more than 14. So we see the way that corresponds and lines up. Our answer makes really good sense out of that. And so there you go. There's our sort of our template for working on some of these application problems in proportions. And so take that, use it, and I will see you next time.